mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. It's Monday, it's a rainy evening in Trinidad and Tobago. But nevertheless, they say it's a storm. Today and tomorrow we might get some isolated showers. But nevertheless, we still give God thanks, viewers, that we are in the land of the living and not the dead. So we're giving God for thanks for that. It's Monday night, the first night in the work week. And we are here with you. So remember, viewers, we are live on Synergy Television from Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. with our run the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And also, we are on YouTube and Facebook. So on Facebook, it's Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Like, share. Remember, everyone in Trinidad has a Facebook account. Big one, small one. So go on your computer, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, Facebook account, search Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Also on YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So viewers, remember, I'm also a licensed money lender. You want money borrow, it's not a problem as long as you have some form of security for me to hold, we're good to go. Also, those of you who are looking for a higher return on your cash, you can invest in Real Talk. It's 4% you will be receiving per year. So viewers, don't let the opportunity pass you. So as we start our program tonight, Minister of Energy Stuart Young has stated that Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited remains open to proposal from parties who are interested in Petrotrin, former refinery at Point-à-Pierre. Young said, the Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited Chairman Michael Kwamina, SC, said they are willing to look at proposals that are put forward with respect to the refinery. He did not indicate whether or not Trinidad Petroleum Holding had received any proposal for the refinery within recent times. But TPH was formed shortly after its closure. It consists of 4 subsidiary companies: Heritage Petroleum Limited, Paria Fuel Trading Company, Guayakara Refinery Limited, and Petrotrin. The refinery falls under Guayakara purview. Unlike the other 3 companies under TPHL, Petrotrin exists only on paper and is not an active commercial entity. So Trinidad and Tobago, they are looking for buyers. Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited, up for sale. Anybody interested? Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean, in all the English-speaking countries that Real Talk is showing. Anybody in that country wants to buy a refinery or Trinidad Petroleum Holding Limited? It's sad, you know, boy. Bad management and a whole refinery shut down. It goes to show, if Trinidadians cannot manage what we have as a people, you think we could go somewhere else and manage something? Do you think we could go somewhere else and manage something? No, we can't do that. We can't. Imagine that our refinery, Petrotrin, is up for sale. No wonder why Guyana have to tell us, or let's keep our refinery. We are going to build our own. It's sad, and it's stinking sad. We as Trinidadian, we money-hungry people, can't even run our own facility. All you had to do is change the board of directors, change the management team. That is all you have to do. 2386716 is the number to call in, viewers, to voice your concerns and your opinion. I'm going to tell you something. If you have a company running and the board is not running the company to make profit, what you do? What do you do? Can somebody call in and say, what do you do? Instead of shutting down a company, you change management. You change planning management. You change from the head, go straight down. New team, new ideas, new vision. We're going up in the 21st century, in the computer age. But we want to use people who planting rice still. We want to use people who planting cane still. That's the kind of people we want to use. We don't want to change our method to increase production. We want to use our own method to increase production. If your production is from 1 to 10 for the day, and you want to go beyond 10, what you need to do? The old board only know from 1 to 10. You can't get them to produce 11, 12, or 13. You need new ideas. You need new heads. You need new plan. You need a new body. You need a new drawing board. You need creativity. Somebody say something. Well, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, your life.
Did you see Stuart Young on Friday in a P&M?
Hey, what's my name? The man kicking the left foot and he kicking the right foot. Yeah.
Mr. Saieed, like he get Mirgi or he get Mirgi and paddle.
Nah, he get itch.
Look at how that man jumping and kicking and getting on. I hope the big jail where they fixing here good for all of them. And they bring back this Darrell Smith after he done rape or do whatever he do and take taxpayers' money to pay. What it is, so it has no room for no young children in this country? Huh? Bringing all these old no good who can't do nothing. According to you just now, if you can't run a company, what it is you have them doing there? What it is, if my husband walk and give me $10 and every fortnight he give me $10 and I can't save a cent, then me a good.
Correct. Thank you, my dear. Now, viewers, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have stated that Chief Secretary Farley Augustine had no valid reason to utilize the Tobago House of Assembly as a platform to shield himself while making unfounded defamatory remarks and spreading slanderous accusations without any concrete motion. The PM said he will seek legal advice on whether the THA Act makes provision for the Assembly to be used in this way. He stated that the question that has to arise is whether the THA acted or the THA Act will provision for immunities and privilege are made, and whether in laws those privileges are superior to privileges that are provided to the Parliament. Dr. Rowley also added that this is now a national emergency and questioned if there was a house where executive authority exists, where people could do as they please, even against written instruction. It's two parliaments, you know, one in Trinidad, one in Tobago now, you know. So listen to this.
I don't advise myself in law. Even though I engage in the making of law in the parliament, I do not advise myself in law on any matter. I seek legal advice. And I said to you, on this matter, it's not about me. This is not about me anymore. It's at the personal level, yes. But at the national level, this is now a national emergency. Do we have a house where executive authority exists, where people have no fetter and could do exactly as they please, even against written instructions as to what shall and shall not be done, to the detriment of citizens?
No, Trinidadians. The PM said the government awaits legal advice to determine the next step. Now I gotta tell you something. I have heard Tobagonians saying that they don't like Rowley and they don't want Rowley and Tobago. I have heard Trinidad Tobagonians said they are settled with Farley. Now, which department in Tobago is investigating the zipline project that hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent and no zipline? Who in Tobago is investigating that? And how long do we have to wait now for that investigation to be completed? How long? 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year? How long? It's a simple thing, you know, it's a simple thing. Ministry of Finance, funds relief, you just look for the header, you know. You just look for the header. Tobago Zipline Project, you go to the Ministry of Finance, listen, we want some information on the Zipline Project in Tobago. You will get everything, all the information. And then what Farris they say? Follow the money, follow the paper trail and you will follow the money. So how much of hundreds of thousands of dollars now did Tobago lose concerning the Zipline project? Ooh. How come the Prime Minister is not saying anything about that? You're going after Farley, but you are studying money spent for a project that never materialized. What about that? Tobago's about 50,000 people in Tobago. And you go tell me this can't solve? This cannot solve? But the Prime Minister wants to pay extra money to create a unit in TDPS to do what? To investigate rogue politicians. What happened to PSB? What happened to CID? What happened to SSA? Come na man. No wonder why they wanted Gary out of office, you know. No wonder why. TTP is supposed to be an independent body, as we understand. Good, correct, nice. Moving along. How come a politician could go to the president and try to interfere in the selections of a commissioner of police? So I ask myself now, is that a rogue parliamentarian, or is it quite natural for a parliamentarian to go to the president? Remember, the president holds the highest order in the land. Remember that. With that list, they scrap that list, they form a new list, and they selected who they want. How could that happen? But we want to create a new team now to investigate what? Rogue officers, rogue politicians. No, it could never happen in Trinidad. It can't happen. Because if a rogue want to create a rogue, what are you getting? What are you getting? It's sad, it's really sad. And we want to better our country. We want to better our country. The man who went to the president to interfere with the selection of the commissioner of police wants to create a vetted team. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley have stated that it was a U.S. agency that suggested the specially vetted unit within the TDPS is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, otherwise called the FBI. Rowley said the U.S. was willing to work with TNT on the problem of transitionalized guns. But that requires certain assurance from our government. What happened to the gang unit now? What happened to CID now? What happened to the special units in Trinidad and Tobago? What happened to them? CID department. Why can't the FBI work with the CID department? Criminal Investigation Department, that is CID, Criminal Investigation. What happened to the gun unit in Trinidad and Tobago? Well, let's say something, now, man. Say something. If you see something, say something. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to stay on the FBI suggested, specifically vetted unit to the government after this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Carney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Welcome back to Realtalk, viewers. So, remember, viewers, if you want to have additional cash at the end of the year with your untouched saving in a financial institution, you can contact us. Put up the number, director. Contact our office. Now, I always explain to you, if you have $100,000 and it's down in the bank doing nothing, absolutely nothing, this is money that you don't interfere with. You want to make an investment, you want to get more money on that 100,000, contact Saieed. Our numbers are on screen, viewers. It's our office number. We open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Contact our office. Ask for Saieed. Set up an appointment. Come in. Let's have a chat. Now, when your $100,000 that is sitting in the bank and doing nothing, the bank is giving you 1%. 1%, that is $1,000. $1,000. Now, why leave it there and get $1,000 per year when you can invest it with Realtalk and get 4%? It's $4,000 on that same $100,000. Now, if you have $200,000, multiply that 4 and 200. That's $8,000 right here per year. $8,000 per year, and your money sitting down right here doing nothing. So if you have $200,000 in a bank, put down like $2,000 you get in. Compare that $2,000 to $8,000. Talk to me. Somebody say something. Somebody Matson? You want to make money? Keep in mind I'm a licensed money lender. So I know how to make money. I know how to spend money. I know how to multiply money. And is the advice I given earlier? $300,000 put on in the bank at 4%. What are you getting? How much? $12,000 per year on $300,000 that you have sitting down in the bank that you're getting $3,000 on. Trinidadian, are we going to remain foolish and stupid as the government thinks we are? Let me tell you something. God is blessed side with brains to make money. When you have a leader, you have a vision. You have a dream, you have a vision. And when I come out now and I tell you about these investments, remember also you can be a member of the Real Talk Credit Union Information. You could be a member. Watch man, Real Talk have plans, you know. You always see the kind of plans Real Talk group coming out with just now. Hold on. But don't let the opportunity pass. You have money in the bank saving and not doing nothing. Why not invest that with Real Talk and multiply that? Not 1,000 but 3,000 more on that. You want to make money? That's the easiest way you can make money. Simplest way to make money and your money safe. So, Prime Minister, he stated that this is not just a TNT thing because it is recognized that in order to fight criminal element, it requires officers who can handle confidential information and with whom our foreign supporters will do business with. Listen to this.
This is not just a Trinidad and Tobago thing, because it is recognized that what we have to do to fight the criminal enterprises, you require officers who can handle confidential information and with whom our foreign supporters will do business. It is the United States who has just recently raised with us an offer to work with us to fight these criminals who are flooding us with guns from America into our countries. And one of the conditions to work with us is that they need officers who are vetted. So this is not a Trinidad and Tobago thing only. It is a CARICOM thing because you see, people are talking from both sides of the mouth in this country.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we need officers who can handle confidential information. So let's say this. If the SSA, them officers dotish. PSP, them officers is some fool. CID, the gun unit, the trafficking unit, those officers are Dancy head unit. I don't know, I'm just asking the Prime Minister. Are they Dancy head unit? The narcotics unit that gathers intelligence before going on a raid, they have to be real foolish then. They don't know how to handle confidential information. I tell you, sometimes these people who have authority, they say some of the most foolishest thing to try and convince the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine that, eh? These officers have to be vetted. They have to know how to be able to handle confidential information. Well, geez and ages. You think we're going into the 21st century computer? My goodness. The PM said the US wants to share information, but one of the conditions is that they must have officers they can trust. Hence the reason for the vetted unit. When Gary Gifford created Special Ops Team, weren't those officers handling sensitive information? Were they not handling confidential information, Mr. Prime Minister? You all came into some sort of a maze, and you all dismantled whatever unit the former commissioner created. Now you want to create a new team now to put in TDPS to what? Manipulate? Imagine you went to the president to scrap. What? A list that was sent to the president for a commissioner of police. You went to the president. I am the high-ranking official that went to the president. Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. I could only bring the facts to you all. The individuals who govern our country. It is you to open your eye. It is you to know which party you want. It is you to know whom you want to govern your country for a better and brighter future. For you, yes, for you, because you're living, you're dead. For you and your children coming up. Like I say, I am not a judge, you know. I am just the messenger that delivering a good message to you. Moses wasn't God. No, Moses wasn't God. Moses got rules to be handed down to the people. So don't get tired. Don't get tired. Run that video direct.
The US, in wanting to share information with us, because it is all about information. Fighting crime and criminality is how you get information or what you do with it. And one of the conditions is that they must have the confidence that the people with whom they will associate. I'm talking about the FBI. The meeting I mentioned that we had recently was an FBI initiative here in Trinidad and Tobago with our people and with the whole question. You would have seen me and my CARICOM colleagues in Washington meeting with the vice president, talking to the president, talking to people. And one of the things that came out of that is that we'd work more closely against the criminal element. And to do so, we have to prepare our agencies to be in a satisfactory mode to work with the United States agencies.
There is all type of word coming out of that. Let me tell you something. You don't need no specialty. You enhance what we have, and we work with it. I remember when the Canadian police officer were here. Gibbs. Do you remember when Gibbs was here? Gibbs got paid in US. What did he do for Trinidad and Tobago? Somebody, let me tell you something. Call in and say what Gibbs did for Trinidad and Tobago. I believe in the 2 or 3 years he was here, he got paid in US. What did he do for Trinidad and Tobago police service to enhance it? We spent thousands of US dollars per month for Gibbs and his colleagues. Did anything in TDPS enhance? Say something now. This is why I am here to bring to you the facts of what is taking place in our country. We don't need a new unit. We don't need to spend X amount of dollars. We have units in Trinidad and Tobago that could work with the US Embassy, that could work with the FBI, that could work with anti-gang, that could work with gun smuggling, that could work with human trafficking. But you want a new team. Is it that you want to select your personal people? I'm asking, Mr. Prime Minister. I'm asking. Just how we selected a 60-year-old commissioner of police. 60! When should be home, when she should be home playing with her grandchildren after resigning from TDPS. We have a 60-year-old woman there without a crime plan. Let me tell you something. Trinidad, all we need is random raids in the community, and you will get information like that. Random raids in the community. Random raids. How we call the unit? The pushback unit. Pushback, random raids. Let me tell you something. I am part of a unit where we call Special Intelligence Unit, right? And because of that, Real Talk Group created Real Talk Security and Intelligence Unit. Let me tell you something. Fixing crime in Trinidad is not hard. It's just that those in authority don't want to push the correct button. Paula, good night.
Saeed, pleasant good night.
Go right ahead, my darling. You're live.
Saeed, those two Canadians couldn't do nothing because they can't handle the corruption in the police service. They tried and failed miserably. But they stayed and they draw some good money. Their family lives very well. They never want for some groceries. They never want for money for paying light bill and all of that, like what we are going through right now, and having to pay thousands of dollars to register our poor little children when they pass for the secondary school. They couldn't handle the police service. I heard this Prime Minister that we have in this country now seeing what's going on in the police service. Where he was all the time.
He now got up from sleep.
What he was doing. When Patrick Manning bought Scotland Yard here and paid them in pounds, what they found out in the police service, 100 of them. Now about 5,000 of them. Look and see where they live in. Look and see the type of vehicles they drive in. Look and see their salary. Look and see how much strikes they have. Some are not a one strike, far less two. You now knowing that Gary Griffith was the commissioner. He tried to clean up the police service and get men working, men who want to work, men who have to stop fearing to work. Right? You see how much of them they want to take the
polygraph testing, correct.
They hand in the papers, they gone home. Right? Gary tried to do a good job, but apparently he stepped on somebody's toes. So, right there and then, they got rid of Gary Griffith. Right? And it's all kind of lame excuses. If they have to start looking at the crime, Stevie Wonder could see that and he blind. Bury all your head in the sun. Thank you, Saeed.
Thank you, my friend. So I'll finish the story, but I have something, watchman, I have something real nice for you. He said, vetted units are not new to the country, given the disbanded Special Anti-Crime Unit of Trinidad, the SORT, implemented by the Patrick Manning-led administration as an example. Let's see what I'm telling earlier. We had it and they dismantled it. Rowley added that when he heard a lawyer saying, if you give some officers a special allowance, it will cause this and it will cause that, they just making mischief. Listen to this.
All those people who, especially the police officer who spoke for the police officers, they're just trying to fool people. When the Patrick Manning government created SORT, S-A-U-T-T, what was the condition and separation of SORT from the rest of the police service? That was a vetted unit.
Yeah.
To get into SORT, you had to be vetted.
Yeah.
And when you got into SORT, you got a special allowance. So when I heard a lawyer saying if you give some officers a special allowance of some kind, it will cause this and it will cause that, they're just making mischief.
Trinidad and Tobago, we're going for a short commercial break. But let me tell you something. Stay right there, don't move. We'll be right back after.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
So now, viewers, criticism of boards brushing police officers as corrupt. The PM stated that when he announced a plan to establish a vetted unit, he spoke about the challenges that police officers face and the danger that they put themselves in to protect the population. He said the accusation that he was board brushing was real. Because some people were uncomfortable about the fact and the truth. Listen to this.
His idea of broad brushing is that some people are uncomfortable about the facts and the truth. Nothing that I've said there is new. I've heard people like some lawyer and others saying that the whole idea of a vetted unit in the police service and paying different officers differently to do work will mash up the public service. And all I spoke about there is record and history, you know. I didn't invent any wheel there. And I spoke in the context of what we are going to be doing with the Americans, who we have asked most repeatedly to work with us and to help us to fight criminal, violent crime, gun running, human trafficking, drug running, arms and ammunition flooding our country. That was the context.
So what happened to our police officers? Can they do it? Viewers, to tell you how crime in Trinidad is so nice, home invasion seems to be not a problem. Listen to this. A High Court judge became a victim of a home invasion after gunmen staged a robbery at her house or her home on Friday. The armed robbery took place on Friday, 21st July 2023, while two workmen were conducting renovation at the home of Justice Robertson. Justice Robertson was not at home at the time of the incident. Ezekiel Kwame were at Justice Robertson's home conducting repairs when a black car stopped in front of the gate. Three men, two armed with guns, exited the vehicle and entered the yard and announced a robbery. The suspect, according to Real Media, tied up the men. One of the victims was robbed of 2 cell phones, valued at $3,000, while the other were relieved of a Motorola cell phone values and $360 in cash. Talking about a justice house, you know. A judge house. A high court judge. It is alleged. But this is where it reached. Like I said, we could fix crime, you know. TTPS could fix crime, you know. Random raids in the community. Each police station in the community, random raids. Let me tell you something to the police officers and them. Your son and your daughter and your wife and your mother and your father, they could be victim. And once you understand that, you would understand how serious it is to keep the community clean. Once you understand as a police officer, you could be a victim of crime. You could be killed with an illegal gun. Then you will understand how important it is to keep the community clean. Let me tell you something. I was a victim. My son almost got kidnapped. 10 minutes away from home. 10 minutes away from home. You think I like that? You think I like that? Now listen this. This is where reality kicks in. If I didn't have the ability to do spirit work, those 4 men would have been in the public domain, kidnapping, raping, robbing, murdering citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. That is why I say, thank God. And who wants to judge me, go ahead. But I hope it don't happen to all the children. Because all they want to know where Saieed is. That is why when I come here and I tell you, I said 3 of them blind and 1 dead. You think I have remorse? How the hell should I have remorse when they tried to kidnap my son to extract money from me? You think I care? No, I don't. That is for criminal less in society. Call a good night.
Good evening, Mr. Saieed.
Go right ahead, my friend. You're live.
Saieed, sometimes I just wonder if Rowley, this thing he's talking to, the entire 1.4 million citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, as they are PNM supporters, that is clap when he talk all this sort of rubbish all the time. Let me remind Rowley. Now he wants to have an alliance with the FBI. But remember, when the FBI had bounties and wanted the 6 of them who Rowley brought into this country and had meeting when there was no-fly zone and all kind of thing as narco traffickers from Venezuela. He didn't want to have nothing to do with the FBI then.
Correct.
So he brought these people and he knew that Maduro and all these people that he brought into the country, they are wanted by the FBI as narco traffickers.
That is during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Exactly. When they didn't have no flights, people couldn't go and see the children, people dying.
Yes, that's when the plane come in.
You understand? He brought them and hosted them in the diplomatic center in Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? Mm-hmm. Now because Jack Warner surfaced and is posing a threat to him remaining in power, he wants to have an alliance with the FBI now. We have to be real in this country and understand who this man is and what is his intention. His intention is nothing to do with the governance and the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and the betterment of Trinidad and Tobago. His vision and ideology is to be in power and to continue to plunder and pilfer from the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago. Anytime in any country in the world that a government in power could be spending the majority of the budget on crime, look at the people who benefits from it.
Correct.
And then you go to understand the intention of the government. And there's a saying that in any war, look at who benefits and you know who would win the war. So while hundreds and hundreds of people have been murdered every year in Trinidad and Tobago, and you keep on spending billions and billions of dollars of taxpayers' money on national security, see where that money goes and see if they really care about the people who are getting raped, whose homes have been invaded, who are murdered in Trinidad and Tobago. They don't care. Trust me.
Now,
have
Paula,
a good night, Mr.
stay on the
Saieed,
line.
and who the population
Stay
understand.
stay on the line. I have a question for you. You there?
Yeah, yeah.
Now listen this. Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi,
Right.
together with the President Attorney General Regional Amo, together with the Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines.
Right.
Now they are saying, let's just say 90% of the murder that happened in Trinidad and Tobago is gang related, correct?
That's what they are saying.
Now, Faris, the Minister of National Security and the President Attorney General, they all know how many gangs it have in Trinidad.
But he announced 2,500 gang members in Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct. How it is now that they can issue an order to the Commissioner of Police to come down on her officers to arrest gang members. How come? Can you enlighten me about that and Trinidad and Tobago also?
Saieed, because it go back now to what I just said. Understand who benefits with the $10 billion that was passed in the budget. Where that $10 billion going to?
Correct.
How much went to the Attorney General office?
Correct.
How much? You understand? And then you go understand if them really care. Remember he passed the gang legislation?
Yes.
How much gang members of that 2,500 he arrested under that legislation? But every time a crime is committed, it's gang related.
Correct.
You understand?
Yes.
So they got Mama Guidey wants them to sit down and clap. I hear the other day Rowley talking in a meeting and saying, all your children, and you know, them clapping. A prime minister telling these people that all your children will committed the crime and all your children with that, and them clapping about that. We real in this country. But like they say, what do they say? Long rope of a maga goat.
Correct.
It's going to end. Have a good night, Mr. Saieed. Enjoy the rest of your program.
Thank you, my friend. Faris know of how many gang members and gangs there are in Trinidad and Tobago. The commissioner, not the commissioner, the Minister of National Security knows how many. The President Attorney General knows how many. They have all this information. We have a gang law in effect. Gangs are committing murders, but yet no one is being arrested. How the hell you know it's a gang murder? How do you know which gang committed the murder? How do you know how many members are in the gang? How do you know the heads of the gang? How do you know that there are 2,000 people in the gang? It's Mash Up Monday. The viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but don't move. We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live, my dear.
Wonderful show.
Thank you.
You might have more idea than what I'm asking about, okay? All industries must have safety officers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, does the government have so much different ministry? Does the government supposed to have safety officers?
Go ahead. That's amazing.
Well, listen to me. I am more talking about WASA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last week, I believe it was Thursday. Now, they just have all these holes in the road where they go and turn off water, lock off water, right? These holes are supposed to be covered. I believe so, right? And Itikafe Junction on the New Grant side.
Yes.
Right? The Indian Walk Health Center is right there. A nurse from the Indian Walk Health Center dropped out of a maxi. And as she dropped out of this maxi, now this didn't happen, this happened already, eh? As she dropped out of a maxi, that girl's foot went straight down into that hole, fall flat on the ground.
Wow.
I thank God that girl's foot didn't break. Now, as community members, we supposed to complain when things are not right. I call WASA, right? And I talked to a guy named Dominic, and I told him what had just happened. And he was like, that just happened? I said, yes. Call the Indian Walk Health Center and find out what's going on with the nurse. I think she's from somewhere, Rio, Tablan or somewhere.
Okay.
Anyhow, he told me he's going to see about that one time and lay a complaint. In a matter like an hour and a half, WASA people came with an unmarked vehicle, took pictures of the hole. Right? They came back later in the day with a piece of pipe, they shove it down, and I think they say too long, they had to go and cut it. Till today, that hole is still exposed, alongside a lot of holes where WASA has to turn off and open their pipe. They're supposed to have proper covers. Manholes supposed to have proper covers. If a child's foot goes down in there, what will happen?
All right.
Right? This is a serious issue. These are the things we of each community could start to complain about.
That is why, my dear, when we have our Wednesday night program, right, where we highlight the issues, it's a public concerns night, send me some pictures on Side Real Talk email or Real Public Concerns email, and we will highlight the matter. Every Wednesday we do that.
Okay. Well, I have been trying to get you since last week, and I could not.
Okay.
I now get through with you.
Send some photos to Real Public Concerns. We have the email address. You can just flash it on the screen.
The email address.
Well, I will. All right. The operator will. She will give you the email address and send the photos to us.
Okay.
And we will highlight the matter. Thank you so much, my dear. You see, this is why we highlight. We have our Wednesday night show, our public concerns, to highlight issues like that. So now, viewers, Finance Minister Colin Imbert is reassuring the public that the amendments to the Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Amendment Act will not be watered down the process, but instead it will remedy defect. Now, after UNC activist Ravi Balgobin Marad recently challenged the drafting of the original bill as he wanted the courts to determine if the procurement order for the recent CARICOM Heads of Government meeting was legal, Imbert later accepted there was a need to amend the act because it did not allow for unforeseen circumstances. He stated that he would focus on fixing a draft error or drafting error within the bill and plan to make it so that goods and service costing less than 1 million would be exempted from procurement requirement. Listen to this.
The objects of this bill are, firstly, to address a drafting error that arose in relation to Section 7(7) of the Act, introduced through Section 5B of the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Amendment Act 2020, Act number 27 of 2020. Secondly, to validate 2 exemption orders made by way of legal notices number 164 of 2023 and 206 of 2023 that arise directly from the said error. 3, to modify the method by which orders and regulations are made under Section 7 and 63 of the Act. And fourthly, to introduce a procurement threshold of $1 million for goods and services which would be exempted from the procurement requirements under the Act, but subject to regulation.
Now, viewers, the minister also added that it will bring certain to the vast amount of small and micro enterprises in this country that have been left without procurement. Listen to this one more time.
There is a view which has been promoted in the public domain by those who know better and those who don't know better, that this will water down or erode the objectives of the Act. However, Madam Speaker, if one looks all over the world, one will discover that exemptions are part and parcel of all modern procurement laws all over the world. I will demonstrate by global reference that the introduction of a procurement threshold of $1 million for goods and services is not unusual, egregious, worrying, abnormal, and does not water down or erode the objectives of the Act. On the contrary, the introduction of a threshold will bring certainty to the vast amount of small and micro enterprises in this country that have been left out of the procurement depository for one reason or another.
Now, viewers, Kamala Prasad said, Minister of Finance Colin Imbert went all around the world to justify the amendments, but it was in her respectful views to give government a blank check to exempt anything and everything. Now, Trinidad and Tobago. So, Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala is saying that Imbert wants to exempt everything. But she's asking herself, does it make sense? Does it make sense? But nevertheless, we'll bring you more of that story on another night. So viewers, we have about 1 minute or less on our program tonight. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. There's a rerun of this program tomorrow from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Now remember, Real Talk is offering you 4% viewers on your hard-earned savings. So until we meet again, good night.